那些蒼翠的路上，歷遍了多少創傷。在那張蒼老的面上，亦記載了風霜。
千千萬萬的身影，在大地的懷裡，我們句句的流水，永在心底。在那些開放的路上，踏碎過多少理想，在那張高掛的面上，被印證了幾多。患得患失的光陰，是從前的命運，奔向未來的憧憬，充滿大地。回望昨日在異鄉眼門前，唏噓的感慨一年年，但日落日出。
This is definitely live. So, you know, I talk a lot about when I think something is edited or pre-recorded, or if someone is like lip syncing. This is not edited or pre-recorded. This is definitely live. So now, this is a great example of when you guys say to me, oh, how do you know this is edited? Or how do you know? Because this. Now, it is not that a singer cannot sing well live, because we have seen that. I have seen that in my practice and in reviewing these videos. Of course, what comes to mind is our singers like JJ, Joshen. Now, I don't know yet these singers. I will say this guy has that more masculine textured voice, but both of these singers are not terribly accurate. And that is that for now. Okay. Where did we even get this footage? Seems like possibly I am a little surprised if this is the live sound that was broadcast to the audience. Perhaps it was, but this almost feels like the behind the scenes live audio that sometimes we don't get to hear. I don't want to be too harsh, but this is a little bit intense. But you know why this stands out so much, my friends, is because so much of what we see is so edited. So we are almost unprepared to hear what is real sometimes. Now, okay.
轻轻松松地走远，不知道哪一天再相见。
Do you hear? Okay, so this is interesting. We just heard the end of that phrase, and he had a little bit of grit in his voice. And so this is almost what has happened in the industry, is we have started to look almost more for good character in the voice because we're so used to fixing the pitch. That, you know, in studio, this is a live performance, of course, but in studio, you will find producers saying to a singer, hey, that's okay that you're not in tune. You did, you know, something that sounded emotional, or you did something interesting. We'll fix the pitch. This topic is something I've struggled with for a long time, because as I came up as a singer, one of the things that I worked really hard on was working my ear and working my accuracy, caring about it. So when this technology came into play more and more, auto-tune, pitch correction, I really pushed back personally, and I would say to producers, I don't want to use this on my voice. I just want to do another take, or I want to get a good take, or I just want to show the most honest version. And what I eventually had to accept was there has to be some amount of pitch correction, or else it is not industry standard anymore. I'm sorry to lay into this so much, but this is tough. This is a tough one. And I'm a little bit surprised that these artists are coming out this way, particularly the black suit jacketed fellow. I don't know whether to be like, hey, this is great because it's live. You know, I usually say that, right? When I hear a little error, I'm like, oh, it's so great. It's live. We hear these little deviations. But this is not little deviations. This is a bit unfortunate.
Wan昨日在異鄉那門前，唏噓的感慨一年年，但日落日出永沒變遷。回頭有一群樸素的少年，輕輕鬆鬆的走遠，不知道哪一天再相見。
So far, this passage, ha 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 ha, could be sung, ha, right? We would take the ha 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 ha, we would take the H out. And then he pulled a little flat, I think, at the end there, but let's see.
大家好。命運就算顛沛流離，命運就算曲折離奇，命運就算恐嚇着你做人沒趣味，別流淚，心酸更不應。
So this is more accurate than the last artist, but in my memory, this might be a little bit more of a simple melody, but that is potentially neither here nor there. This seems a little bit more in the pocket.
捨棄我願能一生永遠陪伴你。
This is that deeper vibrato that I have observed in some Chinese artists. Really deep. And ha 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 ha, a lot of that H sound. When I work with an artist, I always challenge them to remove that. I call it an unwritten rule to not use this H, ha 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 ha, to change notes. I do believe that artists can break this rule and should break this rule if it is suitable, if it is interesting, if it is, most importantly, on purpose. I don't know this artist well enough to know that this is something that he likes to do or is doing on purpose. I tend to say it indicates a little bit less control, but if people are used to it and like it from him, then that's another story. Woo! That's a lot. So see this melody. Da 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 da. It's pretty simple. A lot of same notes in a row. So he is more accurate, but it might be a simpler melody.
在某年，那幼小的我跌倒過幾多落淚在雨夜滂沱。一生之中彎彎曲曲，我也要走過。從何時有你伴我，給我熱烈地拍過，像紅日之火燃點真的我，結伴行千山也定能踏過，讓晚風輕輕吹過，伴送着情有花香，像是在祝福你我，讓晚星輕輕閃過，閃出你每個希冀如落花。快要沾濕我，命運就算顛沛流離，命運就算曲折離奇，命運就算恐嚇着你，做人沒趣味，別流淚心酸，更不應捨棄，我願能一生永遠陪伴你。命運就算顛沛流離，命運就算曲折離奇，命運就算恐嚇着你，做人沒趣味，別流淚心酸，更不應捨棄，我願能一生永遠陪伴你。
That's in tune, that's nice. This reminds me of Buddy on the down the three the we will rock you. Do you guys know that song?
5000年的风和雨呀，穿了多少梦？黄色的脸，黑色的眼，不变是笑容。千里山泉和月。
So as we see sometimes with older artists, I don't know that he's so old, but the style of singing he's doing is much more reflective of that older style of Chinese singing that I've seen a few times now, with a thick vibrato, and it's a little bit more like la 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 la, maybe more classically inspired.
像是一首歌，无论你来自何方，将去向何处，一样的泪，一样的痛，曾经的苦恼，我们留在心中，一样的血，一样的愁。
He's not inaccurate, but it would be more of a dated style, I would say.
未来还有梦，我们一起开拓。
So slow and deep vibrato.
手牵着手，不分你我，昂首向前走，让世界知道我们都是中国人。
He pulls the mic really far away from his face, probably a bit farther than is necessary, but I mean, you know, when you're live, it's fun to be playful, but we are actually losing him sometimes, right? We don't hear him.
手牵着手，不分你我，昂首向前走，让世界知道我们都是中国人。手牵着手，不分你我，昂首向前走。
So again, this man seems perfectly lovely. This song doesn't have a whole lot of range in it.
让世界知道我们都是中国人。輕輕笑聲，在為我送溫暖，你為我注入快樂強電。輕輕說聲，漫長路快要走過，
First of all, this guy is pretty on the ball so far. He sounds pretty good. Second of all, I want to point something out just for you to check out. You can hear the sound of the audience, right? They're sitting at dinner tables because this is a concert, but also kind of an event style concert. So you can hear the sound of the audience because it is bleeding. His microphone is picking up the sound of the audience a little bit. So it's being amplified for us a little bit. And that is just, I'm planting the seed for you all to be looking for these things and observing them. That is an indication that it is live, because if it was pre-recorded or edited, they would do their best to get rid of that. So when a live event is happening, that is not necessarily avoidable. And the other thing that is just an interesting thing, he's probably wearing in-ear monitors. Yes, because there's no monitor on the stage. So he'll be wearing these. And again, we hear the audience, kind of that little murmur of the audience. So because his microphone is picking that up, it will be amplified in his ear. And as a performer, it can be challenging because you're trying to hear yourself, the instruments, any cues that you may be given, and it can be distracting to hear that. So that's just a little behind the scenes for you.
走到明媚晴天，星星呼呼躍起，像紅日發放金箭，我伴你往日笑面重現，輕輕叫聲，共抬望眼看高空，終於青天優美為你獻。擁着你，當初溫馨再湧現，心裏邊。
This is pretty clean. This is a pretty clean performance. I feel very at ease listening to this.
童年稚氣夢未污染，今日我與你又試肩並肩，當年情。
I feel the need to say, though, that again, compared to some songs, this is not so far, this is not a humongous range or tons of riffs or something, but I am not taking away from the fact that this is a clean performance.
一望你，眼裏溫馨已通電，心裏邊從前夢一點未改變。今日我與你又試肩並肩，當年情再度添上新鮮。
This is clean. Not super adventurous, but clean, right? Hey, beautiful, beautiful staging.
"早已知道爱情是难舍难离，早已知道爱一个人不该死心塌地，早已不再相信所谓天长地久的结局，所以我习惯了一个人的孤寂，所以我习惯在人来人去中保持清醒，所以我习惯在。"
So a lot of these songs so far, I'm wondering if they're maybe older because the style of writing is very... This woman, I think this is a woman, her voice is lower than the average female. It's a nice tone, I think. As for her accuracy, because we know this is live, I think. is okay so far.
戴上面具，不再为谁付出真心，但为何还是把你藏在心里？为什么还是等着你的消息？我怎能告诉自己说我一点都不在意？你是如此的难以忘记。浮浮沉沉的在我心里。
I want that microphone. It is cool. It is red, and I want it.
你的笑容，你的一动一举，都是我所有的记忆。你是如此的难以忘记，浮浮沉沉的在我心里。改变自己需要多少勇气？翻腾的心情该如何平静
？Again, I am guessing, pure speculation, that this song feels older. It doesn't feel vocally like over these songs that I have classified in my mind that I've guessed maybe are older. They don't feel like they were written in a way to really show off a vocalist's voice or range or tricks, I'll say. The riffs, the runs, the super high notes, the big range. So it leaves a singer with not a lot of opportunity. The singer doesn't have a lot of opportunity to show off. I'm almost wondering if the film that they're playing in the background, if this song is from that movie, perhaps. I'm sure you might be laughing at me right now because maybe it's very obvious that it in fact is, or maybe it isn't. But maybe that this song was able to do so well and become so popular partially because it was associated with this scene or with this movie, because that's how media works, right? We use media together. Like, think about your favorite TV show and imagine the most sad scene or the most emotional scene or like a wedding scene, or imagine that there was suddenly no music and it was just the characters speaking and then awkward silence between the speaking. These songs that we've come to know and love absolutely bring these moments to life. And the song reminds us of the moment, and the moment in the movie or the TV show reminds us of the song, and around it goes.
浮浮沉沉的在我心里，你的笑容，你的一动一举，都是我所有的记忆。你是如此的难以忘记，浮浮沉沉的在我心里。
This singer, the pitch is okay. It's like right on the edge sometimes. And her ability to control what she's doing is also okay. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's just okay.
改变自己需要多少勇气？翻腾的心情该如何
But I like her haircut. It's a sweet shag.
平静？
Pretty dress.
從前現在過去了再不來，紅紅落葉長開塵土來。
Well, he seems happy and relaxed and confident. This is not super in tune, but he seems happy.
開始總結總是沒變改，天邊的你漂泊。
This is interesting. I actually am not sure if this artist has any vibrato. We'll see. I've only seen a few seconds. But I will say that when a singer doesn't have access to vibrato, it can be challenging pitch-wise because sometimes vibrato gives us a little bit of wiggle room when we're landing and holding long notes because we don't have to hold it solid. We get to add that deviation in. That is no excuse for a singer with vibrato to be out of tune, nor is it an excuse for a singer that doesn't, like him. That's just an observation. This guy almost seems like he's just like performing around a campfire almost. Very like, I'm not mocking him by this. I'm saying that that's the way he is expressing, or that's the way he's feeling the song. We all do things, body things, face things, but this guy just seems like he's like having fun, singing a tune, kinda.
苦海翻起愛恨，在世間難逃避命運，身親竟不可自禁，話我應該。
This is a nice texture to her voice.
情人別後，永遠再不來。
This is a really interesting pairing. She is what I would consider, in my definition, a more singy singer, and he's very like more kind of chatty and talky and, you know, not so much, yeah, like an interesting pairing.
無言獨坐，放眼塵世外，鮮花總會凋謝，但會再開。為你。
You know what? She's actually doing really well. I have to say, she's actually, her intonation is good, and timing is good, and it's good. I don't even know. I don't even know if I would say that was like poor intonation. There's just something about this that just seems like not locked in, I guess.
相信是緣分，話我應該相信是緣分。
What a weird pairing.
真多可笑，痴情最无聊，目空一切也好。此生难料，心却一无所扰，只想换个半世逍遥。心只对人笑，梦中全忘掉，谈天黑得太早。来生难料，爱恨一笔勾销。对酒当歌，我只愿开心到老。风再冷不想逃，花再美也不想要，任我飘摇。
So far, this intonation is pretty darn good. And I like that this guy is using physical things with his voice so that we feel emotion, right? Like this kind of pinched in the back of his throat. We're hearing, it makes us feel like he's into it and it makes us feel into it. I think this guy's doing a good job so far.
音越高，心越小，不问因果有多少，独自醉倒。
Ooh, low.
今天哭，明天笑，不求有人能明了，一生骄傲。歌在唱，舞在跳，长夜漫漫不觉晓，将快乐寻找。风再冷不想逃，花再美也不想要，任我飘摇。天越高，心越小，不问因果有多少，独自醉倒。今天哭，明天笑，不求有人能明了，一生骄傲。歌在唱，舞在跳，长夜漫漫不觉晓，将快乐寻找。
I think you did okay. Voice, especially when she sings the higher notes. They're kind of more, they're focused and piercing, and it's a one of the more interesting tones we've heard today so far, and she seems to be doing pretty well. But you know, I don't know if I'm being like harsh, but so far nobody has been terribly, I don't want to say energetic, like everybody's showing up and doing their performance, but nothing is like blowing my hair back, you know what I mean? And it might just be the kind of singers or the kind of songs that these are. They're not, designed to be gigantic songs, but I don't know, like I kind of want someone to like do something bigger, bolder. It's not this particular artist's, I'm not picking on her in particularly, but everything is just look, like we're in this kind of rappy, talky, singy, like not so singy singing. I don't know, just nothing is blowing me away yet.
到花不长空，我醉一片朦胧，生与死一切成空。来也匆匆，去也匆匆，恨不相逢，一切随风。狂笑一声，长叹一声，快活一生，悲哀一生。爱也匆匆，恨也匆匆，情难独钟，懂也不懂。狂笑一声。快活一生，悲哀一生。
It's really cool to hear and see all these different instruments. And this artist, as I said, she's doing well. Very bored. Do you really think that these songs could be done better? 世界怎麼變？有好的心不説，潮流混亂也不亂，大家始終勸勉。原來你我不相見，傳來問候更暖，心中至真至誠。綿綿千載，此生不變。Again, that's kind of heavy attacks. So it's just a less. I could go. And use more of that bounce technique. They said ha 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 ha. So some of it is personal choice, personal taste. But if you are trying to, let's just say it's not a way to sort of show off your voice.
I'll not give you riches. Riches are not my wishes. I'll give you a vow of my life. L-O-V-E, la 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 la. Oh, the word may be simple, yet the feeling is true and deep. Here's a pledge for you to keep my true love.
I can hear lots of vibrato, like true, that very deep style vibrato.
L-O-V-E, I'll make your life worth living. I'll take and I'll be given. Please take my vow of eternity. L-O-V-E, love. La 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 la. L-O-V-E, love.
Pretty dress. Ooh, I love this melody. Oh my god, I just noticed the video. I was watching her, but it's the I hope it's those kids singing that. That's great.
弯弯月儿夜渐浓，月光伴清风，月色更朦胧。 旧人梦，要问故人可。
Oh, that's nice. Ooh, that's maybe the first thing I've heard so far of someone doing something of particular interest vocally. Her pitch is fine. I really like that melody in the background. I hope she gets to sing it.
知否心中相逢。
Her pitch is like mostly good, and then there's notes that just kind of go sometimes. Over there.
温柔清明月，带走我问候，彩云追着月儿走。南風感激風光，一片歡欣喜着，月照彩雲上，芬風輕涼，雨入山陰心向我。唯有清明月帶走我問候。
So it is super beautiful. Beautiful cheekbones, beautiful. And you know, it is so stressful to walk in a gown long like this. And even if you look at the floor, it's quite long right in the front where she has to walk forward into. And when you're performing, it's not very becoming to look down when you're singing. It's also not very becoming to grab your dress and lift it up. And the fact that she's kind of floating down while she's singing, I give her credit. It's so scary. I've tripped.
彩云追着月儿走。
大家好。有时候我觉得自己像一只小小鸟，想要飞，却怎么样也飞不高。
This guy's almost like talking, sort of. Da 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da. Not a whole lot of singing there, but maybe that's his style.
也许有一天我骑上了枝头，却成为猎人的目标。我飞上了青天，才发现自己从此无依无靠。
It almost seems like he's not terribly concerned about what he's saying. I don't know. It just seems like blah-de blah-de blah 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 blah.
每次到了夜深人静的时候，我总是睡不着。我怀疑是不是只有我的明天没有变得更好？未来会怎样？究竟有谁会知道？幸福是否只是一种传说？我用
She does a lot of glottal stops. Whether the words require these stops or not, she's certainly exaggerating them. And in the Western world, we have something we call indie girl singing. It will sound like, I don't even know where to go from here, where the singer will put a lot of them in on purpose stylistically. I don't know if she's doing it on purpose, or perhaps she's nervous, or perhaps it's part of her personal style. I'm not sure.
人都找不到。
我是一只小小小小鸟，想要飞呀飞，却飞也飞不高。
Oh, interesting. You know, for how casual his performance is, that was actually a pretty accurate little piece of agility.
我寻寻觅觅，寻寻觅觅一个温暖的怀抱。
I do think she's nervous. I do think she's a bit nervous.
这样的要求算不算太高？
我是一只小小鸟。
So this is unison, where they're singing the same notes together, but they were not rhythmically together. So we heard them kind of not landing at the same time.
小鸟飞呀飞，却飞也飞不高。我寻寻觅觅，
Booga! It's nice to hear a little bit of buoyancy, yeah?
寻寻觅觅一个温暖的怀抱。这样的要求算不算太高？这样的要求算不算太高？
隨隨回望，曾屬於彼此的晚上，紅紅仍是你贈我的心中豔陽。
So we're into push-pull zone here, where the singer is landing notes with an energy that they're not able to follow through with. So there's kind of this motion. Very low. This is another woman with a lower range.
望空體恤兼見諒，明晨離別你，路也許孤單得漫長。一瞬間太多東西要講，可惜即將在各一方，只好深深把這刻盡凝望。
Ooh, more. Really, really deep vibrato.
來日縱使千千阙歌，飄於遠方我路上。來日縱使千千萬星，亮過今晚月亮，都比不起這宵美麗，亦絕不可使我更欣賞。因你今晚共我唱。
Woo, this lady's hair.
他总是只留下电话号码，从不肯让我送他回家。听说你也曾经爱上过他，曾经也同样无法自拔。你说你学不会假装潇洒，却叫我别太早放弃他。把过去全说成一段神话，然后笑彼此一样的傻。
大家好，我抱星月，在這天長地和，望這月火，走過。 月光光，照地堂。
So, pardon me. We just heard slight, tiny pitch deviation, but very different than anything we've heard so far, right? Very different. To me, there's just certain things you can feel in artists that this is just really beautiful. And also live. but we just hear so much more foundation here, for me, than anything we've heard yet today. So even this is it's still nice to hear him be human, but the performance just has a very different feel. He's a very different vocalist than, as I said, than anybody we've heard.
你還星月，圓滿萬家燈火，落花歸灣，影闌珊，雨歸家，依戀人再見。 問花窗，花窗，溫星明月，在這人間銀河，多少深深相隨多珍重，願伴飛橋跨情河，溫星明月。
That note though. This just goes to show when we hear the very, very polished versions of any of these performances, all of us singers are just human, flesh and blood. So we just heard a pretty crazy note, which, if this was edited, would simply just not be there. Yeah.
多少朝朝暮暮萬千里，欲乘長風。
I just have to say, isn't it funny though how these issues, he's had 2 in my opinion so far, they stand out so much because the rest of it is like right in the pocket, pitch-wise. So I imagine too when a singer like this is used to some of these shows doing all the editing, maybe I don't even know. I was gonna say maybe you get used to having that little extra cushion, but I don't even think that's fair to say because he is just so accurate most of the time that I know he's steering like mad.
刮風吹，你還星月，圓滿萬家燈火，落花歸灣，影闌珊。 雨歸家，依戀人再見，問花窗，花窗，溫星明月，在這人間銀河。 多少深深相隨多珍重，願伴飛橋跨情河，溫星明月，盡收人間銀河，多少朝朝暮暮萬千里，欲乘長風。
I will also point out, sorry, I'm enjoying this performance. Note his vibrato, much more contained.
刮風吹，欲乘長風。刮風吹。
That was really, really lovely to hear.
谢谢。
I couldn't even fucking get anything coherent out afterwards because it's just like, what do you even say? Like, this is the only singer in the whole show.
莫說千山多障礙，風也急，風也勁，白雲過山峰也可傳情。莫說水中多變幻，水也清，水也靜。
Why do they have this? Why would they put this in? I feel for this lady.
You got it right. She's an actress. She's not really a singer.
Okay.
So, you know, she doesn't need to prove.
But it's just so crazy. Of all these pre-recorded things, then we do this.
Yeah. At least she's being real, just like what you said.
You don't disagree. I would rather watch this.
I would rather watch this.
I would rather watch this. I feel like I'm being placated. If you show me lip syncing, I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love those back vocals.
We are together, babe. We are. 带着满天斑斓，纯纯的灿烂，月光的脸庞。爱这清澈辽阔，静静的星空，听得见共鸣。Love is more than anything.
I think her tone is nice, but the intonation is a little tricky. But keep in mind, guys, that oh man. This is hard to review. I'm going to be honest with you.
Love is changing everything. Love, 爱是一样的，一样的。爱无限的追逐，不同的力量，全都有记号。后爱就淋漓寒窗，我们是青春，怎能被阻挡 ？Love.
So a lot when a singer tends to be flat or under, my feeling is always like I always want to breathe more energy into the singer, because flat, so under pitch, often it just feels like like you just need a little bit more wah, because this singer is capable of singing. If I was coaching a singer like this, I would be like, come on, more energy, lift into those notes, really follow that melody around. Now, I don't know who the singer is. I'm sure she's well known and beautiful and well respected. And as I said, I think she has a lovely tone. But this, I'm just like, I just want to like light a fire under her and just, come on, bring it. A little bit more juice.
This love touches everyone. This love makes dreams.
Like, she's doing a good job in bringing those emotive little details. A little bit of glottal stops and a little bit of fry and some sigh. That stuff is showing up. But the pitch just makes me want to, as I said, more energy, more care. You have to want it so bad that you will chase your note down a dark alley on fire. And sometimes what I've seen today is just like, close enough, kind of. And I'm not saying they're not putting effort, but you have to, like, every cell in your body has to be like there to find these notes.
True, our love 爱是一样的，哦，一样的。
This song seems more modern.
青春的微笑是爱的名字。
I just thought of something. When I play live, I've tried to tell my mom to not be in the front row or not be anywhere where I can see her face. Because if I do anything wrong, she's like, she can't hide it. And I'm just realizing that I'm kind of her. Maybe I am my mom. Oh, I think I'm my mom. Oh, I'm my mom. Can I just tell you that my dream is to have 11 million backup dancers? Can we just put that on my wish list? Thank you.
世界有我们，青春的样子，是爱的生命。
Nice, nice.
Love, love, 你和我在这里，世界是我们。青春的微笑
Yes.
是爱的名字，你和我在一起，世界有我们。
Yes.
青春的样子。
I feel like she's warming up into this. I also want to say one more thing. It's really, really hard to go and sing one song. It can be really, really hard. In this style of performance, there's no room to like catch your breath or catch the wave or get comfortable. You're in, you're out. It's 60 seconds. It's 90 seconds. It's quick. But I think she's finding her groove.
Love, love, 你和我在这里，世界是我们。
I am curious. She keeps putting no vibrato on the end of those long holds. It's an interesting choice.
We are,
Lovely.
we are together, babe. We are together, baby.
She got there.
春风吹呀吹，吹入我心扉，想念你的心，砰砰跳不能入睡。我说你呀你，这世上还有谁能与你鸳鸯戏水，比双双飞。
This artist is doing okay pitch-wise. Some of the high notes were sitting a little bit under, and I do hear a little bit of mask in her sound. Again, might just be her vibe.
明月几时有？
你动情伤 that kind of tucked in sound, a little bit tucky.
把酒问青天，不惜天上宫阙，今夕是何年？就在这花好月圆夜，两心相爱心相悦，在这花好月圆夜，有情人儿成双对。我说你呀你，这
这世上还有谁能与你鸳鸯戏水，闭上双泪。谢谢。除了你，我不能感到一丝丝情意。大家好
Nice vibrato.
又见炊烟升起，暮色照大地。像温泉正吹，黑烟，你要去哪里
This isn't like right on pitch-wise, but I do like what he's doing. I do find it interesting, the little pieces of agility, his vocal texture. This is nice. It's nice.
夕阳有诗经，黄昏有花意。
Oh, shoot.
诗情画意虽然美丽，我心中只有你。
That's fine.
微风吹着浮云，细雨慢慢飘落大地，淋着我，淋着你，淋的世界充满治愈。愿我是风，你是雨。微风轻在细雨里，漫步青青草地，小草也在轻轻低语，诉说无尽秘密，让我们共寻觅。識唱就一齊唱啦！我記得有一個地方，我永遠永遠永遠不能忘。我和他在那裡定下了情，共度過好時光。那是一個好地方，高山清靜流水長，陪伴着我們倆。初戀第一次為那麼甜，怎不叫人向往？怎不叫人向往？任時光匆匆離去，我只在乎你。
This guy pretty consistently, instead of using any sort of power, he tends to default up into his falsetto, but I think that's part of his style. Must be a dedication to that lady who is either a singer or an actress.
好，大家晚安，你们好吗？跑着跑着，双脚也慢慢累了，沿途的风景也渐渐地看腻了。 从起初发现热的血还是很热，外面的风却越来越冷，世界变得不同了。我的朋友是否坚持着？我爱的人还在找对的人。风方向流转了。我不要就这样的过，哪里呢
This guy's got his shit together. This is good. This is good. This is in tune. This seems solid.
你呢？会不会跟着我一起走，寻找着那黑暗里唯一的星空？当时间就这样匆匆的过，哪里呢？哪里呢？会不会想起那年的风，吹走了单纯疯狂勇敢的我，却只留下想做我想。
I think whoever's singing harmonies is doing so live. Feels good.
十字路口。我不要就这样的过，哪里呢？哪里呢？会不会跟着我一起走，寻找着那片沙漠唯一的绿洲？
This is solid. This is one of the more solid performances, I think.
就这样慢慢转动，哪里呢？哪里呢？会不会像卷起一阵风，卷起了单纯疯狂勇敢的我，不再停留，向左或向右，十字路口，我还是我，放下了那个石头。 顺着路走走走走。
Good job, good job, good job.
原是你們，原是那個令人甜蜜笑臉，原是偏偏起舞轉的圈圈，轉出一圈圈眷戀。 原是欠缺，原是那句令人難受再見，最怕最愛已經不會再見，歡欣都只靠悼念。誰等等等等不到雨，誰怕怕怕快樂快湧遠。 可知有情人永遠結尾才是新的開端，情團聚的小心願，離開一段開一段新一段，人間的緣雖則是不夠圓，而有生一天會遇見。 成為遺憾的小心願，誠心許願1000段都甘願。如果保存幸福一段，這一段都一樣亂，縱是少一塊眷戀。
This singer is doing well. I've heard some maybe small intonation issues. But on top of that, the performance itself, the singing itself is good. Good. See, that's good. So she's choosing "Kada" instead of "da-da" every time. That's interesting. It makes me always wonder if it's kind of pressing up against a limit for a singer or if that's really how they feel it, or yeah, I don't know.
至少今天你欠缺的，明天見。謝謝。
我拿青春赌明天，你用真情换此生。岁月不知人间多少的忧伤，何不潇洒走一回？
This is fine. There is something that almost seems pedestrian about this. When I say that this feels a little unemotional, it's not because I don't think he's trying or that he feels emotion. It's just that there's no techniques there that help us feel emotions.
红尘呀滚滚，痴痴呀情深，聚散终有时。留一半清醒，留一半醉，至少梦里有你追随。
Feel like I'm frowning and have been frowning for some time. It's maybe collectively people couldn't hear something well. So I don't know. But this collection of performances, bravo that it's live, but room for more polish. So bravo to these artists. Bravo to these artists. It's always gutsy to step on stage and make real sound.
I'm sorry, but I'm just a girl, not usually the kind to show my heart to the world. I'm pretty good at keeping it together. I hold my composure for worse or for better, and I apologize if you don't like what you see, but sometimes my emotion gets the best of me, and falling apart is as human as it gets. You can't hide it, you can't fight on what the truth is. You can't pretty lie and say it's okay. You can't pretty smile and just walk away, pretty much fake your way through anything, but you can't cry pretty. Oh no, you can't dress it up in lace or rhinestones. Don't matter if you're at the club or home all alone. Yeah, it's all the same when you're looking in the mirror. A picture of pain, let it flow. You can't pretty lie and say it's okay. You can't pretty smile and just walk away, pretty much fake your way through anything, but you can't cry pretty. You can't turn off the flood when the dam breaks, when all your mascara is going to waste, when things get ugly. You just gotta face that you can't cry pretty. Oh, no, you can't. No, 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 no. You can't turn off the flood when the dam breaks, when all your mascara is going to waste, when things get ugly. You just gotta face that you can't cry